Hey everybody, in this video we are going to solve the equation you see on your screen right now for sine theta and cosine theta initially, and then as a cherry on top we will solve for theta in radians between 0 and 2 pi if it is doable without a calculator. For more in-depth videos on using a calculator, you can go to the playlist, which will be attached as a thumbnail at the end of the video. All right, so first thing we got to do when you're solving a trig equation, and look at this, it's almost the polynomial just turned into trig language. You got to get it equal to 0. Okay, also, guys, these are not like terms. You cannot combine them. They will be two separate terms. This one is the product of sine and cosine. That's like having x, y. Sine is not like 3 or 2 or 5 or 7. You have another component with a variable in it, you know? And then 3 cosine theta, oh no, this is upsetting, that's not showing up at all. That's not the same type of term, okay? So one more time. Are they like terms? No. Will you get a 2 cosine theta happening anywhere here? No. Okay? No, no, no. Please focus. Put your phone down. Shut your music off. Pay attention. Okay? Let's go. First thing we do, subtract everything to one side. So that's not a division bar. I just underlined it. Got it? Minus 3 cosine theta. Minus 3 cosine theta on both sides. Why? Again, we get it equal to 0. Why? Because of the zero product property. Why? Because it's a guaranteed way to be able to solve for things, because a product set equal to 0 is the only thing that works, because it's always true for every component of that product, every factor in that product, okay? Everything being multiplied, yeah, it can, or they could all equal 0, one of them could equal 0, whatever, and then you just exclude anything extraneous. Comprendi? So after we do this to both sides, what does that turn into? It is just sine theta cosine theta minus 3 cosine theta. They are, again, for the 75th time in my day, they are not like terms. They are not like terms, okay? So you cannot combine them. Next step, look for a factoring technique. You got to know how to factor. 5 basic ways. We got greatest common factor, grouping, sum or difference of 2 cubes. Almost never comes up. Don't obsess over sum and difference of cubes. Once in a while, sure, but like in a standard math class, I mean, it's not going to be the big one. What are the big ones? GCF, a grouping guy, difference of squares, yeah, an AC method, factoring a sort of like a quadratic trinomial, right? Okay, what do? Greatest common factor. Let's do it. What is the greatest common factor? You got a cosine theta and you got a cosine theta. Let's factor it out front. So if you pull a cosine theta out of him and him, or him and her and her, I don't know. What's left over here? Good, sine theta, thank you. And what's left here? 3. Think about it. No, you don't get a 2 cosine theta. What are you doing? If you distribute back in, you should get the previous line. Turn your brain on. Take the earbuds out. You can't multitask. Stop trying. Stop trying. Stop it. You stink at it. Stop doing that. Shut your garbage off. Focus. No. Oh, the background music helps. Does it? Would you be here right now watching this video if it helped? No, you wouldn't. And here you are. All right. Now what do? It's factored. When the powers are 1, you're probably done factoring, that is. So where do I go? I'm going to set each factor. So this is a factor and this is a factor. Each of them equal to 0. So you'll get cosine theta equals 0, and you'll get sine theta minus 3 equals 0. This one is done. In part 1 is done. Okay. And then, all right. And this one more step. Come on, you got it. Add 3 to both sides. Sine theta equals 3. So we're done up to there. Now, layer Layer 2. Are the ratios appropriate? Does cosine ever equal 0? Think about the unit circle. Cosine is the x value. Does cosine ever equal 0? Yeah. All right. It's adjacent over hypotenuse, so 0 over 1. 1 is bigger than 0, so that's also okay. Think about the unit circle. So is it appropriate? Yes. Now, if we wanted to go all the way and tell me what theta is, be extra smart. Where is the x value 0? Don't mix up these quadrantal angles. Think hard before you commit. Where is x 0? Most of you are going to try to tell me here and here, but no, my darlings. That's where y equals 0. X is 1 here. X is -1. X is 0 on the y-axis because it didn't move off the y-axis. It stayed there since x is 0. So what angles, if we were solving, hypothetically, pretend, I didn't mention where, between 0 and 2 pi, pi over 2, and 3 pi over 2. Are there more answers? If I was finding general solution, yes, there are infinite, okay? But we're just thinking like, broadly speaking and just thinking on the unit circle. So no and no, yes and yes, okay? Next part, let's go. Sine, is the ratio appropriate? Is that a ratio? Sure, it's 3 over 1. And what's the rule for sine? sin𝜃cos𝜃, opposite over hypotenuse. Does that make any sense? Absolutely not. Your opposite side cannot be bigger than your hypotenuse. If it were negative, you would disregard the negative in that logic. We're talking about the absolute value or magnitude or size, whatever you want to call it. So nothing to solve. Theta equals no solution? Nothing. We can't do it. Okay? So if you're trying to find theta, can't do it. Not with a calculator, not with your brain. Doesn't make sense. You can't build that triangle. Hope you feel smarter. Thumbs up if you do. Thumbs down if you are worse for having watched this. Don't worry. I won't cry about it. Check out the other videos. Continue studying. Try redoing this one without looking in 10 minutes. I don't know. Love you. Adios. Bye-bye.